So in this short mobility flow, what we're going to look at is warming up the lower body and preparing it for our session. We're going to start with child's pose into cobra, and we're going to perform 5 repetitions of each of the following exercises to help mobilize that lower body and that spine. After child's pose to cobra, we're going to move into cobra to downward dog. Again, moving through our range of movement and slowly trying to increase that range of movement over those 5 repetitions. We're then going to follow on to our frog stretch, taking the knees nice and wide and sitting those hips all the way back through onto the heels, and then shifting your weight forwards. Again, performing 5 repetitions to help mobilize and open up those hips. What we're then going to move into is a mountain climber, bringing one leg and one foot all the way around to the outside of the hand, and we're going to perform 5 repetitions on each side, dropping the hips down and lifting the chest when we place the foot outside the hand. Following on from this, we're going to come into a tabletop position, so hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and we're going to put one hand through and underneath the body to get some rotation through our spine, mobilizing the lower and upper spine all at the same time. Again, performing 5 repetitions on each side. Following on from this, we're going to take one leg out to the side of us, and we're going to move into a hip shift, a lateral hip shift to be specific. Keeping the knees over the toes and in line with the toes, trying to keep those hips facing forwards and shifting all of our weight over. Again, performing 5 repetitions on each side, not holding the movement, but moving through the position further each time. Following on from this, we're then going to take ourselves into a deep lunge position, hands over the head to lift the rib cage and stretch those abdominals, and then we're going to shift our weight forwards, this time through the hips. Being really mindful to reach up to the sky to get some mobility and stretch through the abdominals, and squeezing that bum, driving those hips forwards to help stretch out those hips a bit more and mobilize those legs. Then going to bring ourselves down onto the floor, head flat on our backs, feet together, knees together, and rotating nice and slowly and controlled, bringing those knees all the way down to the floor if possible, and rotating from one side to the other. Again, 5 on each side, so a total of 10 repetitions. Mobilizing that lower back. then going to do is hug the knees to the chest, wrapping the hands around the knees if possible. Hug those knees to the chest, pull that upper back in, and then release off. Following on from this, we're then going to take ourselves up into a standing position, to his feet into a squat position, bending down, grabbing those feet, stretching out those hamstrings, and then moving from that forward bend into a squat to mobilise the whole lower body. Following on from there, bring ourselves up nice and tall and gently rotating the torso to again help to mobilise that spine, more so in the middle this time, but also focusing on the lower. Then we're going to perform 5 standing hip circles on each leg. Feel free to hold on to something if you need to for this part. Nice external hip circles to again help mobilise that lower body and predominantly the hips. Finally, moving into a forward bend, into a nice, big, tall reach up to the ceiling, fully stretching out through that abdomen and through that spine to really elongate the body. And from there, we're done.